Podcast for life.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Bulletcast. We're the number one sports and recreational podcast in the world. I'm your host, the Podfather. New nickname alert, the Messiah of the microphone. I'm joined by my tag team partner. He's the Jimmy to my J, the Tully to my Arn, the Stevie Ray to my Booker T, the creator of the award-winning Under the Radar, creator of curveballs and chair shots, the current reigning, defending BC champ up until next week, the Canadian destroyer, Brandon. How's it going, buddy?
It was going good until you said you're going to take my title next week.
Or the third guy could take it. We don't know. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, Bulletcast and the Bank will be back. So, Money in the Bank predictions. Whoever gets the most right, they get the title. Second most, they get the briefcase. That is allowed for up to 1 year to cash in on any wrestling show they want. The third man is out with nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's getting real here on the BC, but you know, we have a Patreon now.
Whatever that means.
We have a Patreon, guys. So yeah, the Superstar tier is $1. You get strictly just audio. And then the Bulletcast Elite tier, that's $5, and you get all video. All video. So if you're listening to this right now, there's a good chance you paid for the Patreon because it won't be released to the general public for a couple days. That's how we're doing it over here on the BC now. It's a new era. We're constantly evolving. That's what's happening. But you ready to talk some wrestling?
I'm ready.
Been ready?
I've been ready. So much stuff to talk about. So much tea to be spilt today.
Hop into this PEA, Performance Enhancing Audio. Alright, so outside of the ring, apparently Kathy Kelly is experiencing the dream. So there are rumors going around that Kathy Kelly is now romantically involved with Patrick Clark, a.k.a. the Velveteen Dream. I heard rumors, years ago that she was involved with Finn Balor. Don't know. If this is true, then unfortunately it didn't work out for them. But now she's with PK or PC really. Yeah, Patrick Clark. Yeah. So if this is true, kudos to them.
Good for them. I don't know what to say.
You don't look. You got all the tea on Under the Radar. I'm trying to bring some to the BC.
I talk about tea that's on camera.
Wow.
Because that's real tea. If it's on TV, then it's reality television. Which means it must be round. By the way, shout out to the Miz and Mrs. Apparently they're nominated for an Emmy.
What? Mm-hmm. They better win. Miz is must see. Alright, so Matt Morgan, the Blueprint, former TNA Tag Team Champion. He is now the mayor of Longwood, Florida.
Kane better watch out. Kane versus Matt Morgan 2024.
Hey, yeah. I saw Glenn Jacobs chokeslam somebody while he was giving a mayoral address. Very interesting, very interesting. Shout out Matt Morgan. Didn't know he was into politics. He still looks ripped as all hell. I enjoyed Matt Morgan's little run in TNA. I thought he was going to win the big one there, but I guess not. I mean, the guy was 7 foot. He should have just had the rocket strapped to him, as that's the old adage back in the day. Alright, so CM Punk's music plays at NXT Live. Now, since the Punk run-in at that indie show a few weeks ago, not apparently, I've seen the footage, I've heard it. At NXT Live shows, Cult of Personality is playing on the speakers in the arena. Coincidence? I don't think so.
So you're going to draw to conclusion that because one of the most popular rock songs, one of the most popular songs of all time, is being played at an NXT Live house show, that concludes that CM Punk is coming back to WWE.
Well, look. They could have been playing it for years, alright? I would have heard something about it then. But, the run-in at the indie show, Vince's account follows him on Twitter, and now this?
But the real question is, does it have the static intro? If there's no static intro and it's just the guitar riff, then that means it's not the CM Punk theme song.
Trips is running the ship. He knows that song's playing. Come on now.
I don't know. Maybe it's like the Florida. Is it the Florida run house shows, or is it like the countrywide ones? Because I'm pretty sure Triple H's at the country outside of Florida, but the little Florida ones, the B tier, C tier, all the people that aren't on NXT TV house shows. I don't think Triple H is running those.
I hear there's this tag team that competed at the West Palm Beach, Florida NXT house show called 3.0. They basically look like the Young Bucks. I hear we need to watch out for them. So,
I mean, the Young Bucks aren't very young anymore, so
yeah, they're about to become the old Bucks.
they're just going to become the Bucks.
Apparently 3.0 had a match against the Forgotten Sons, and apparently in the match you could really forget about the Forgotten Sons because 3.0 was outshining those boys.
If you listen to me on Under the Radar, I've been forgetting about the Forgotten Sons for a long time, and they've been getting a solid push for at least the past 6 months.
Wow. All right. Moving on. The Wrestlers. It's going to be a kind of like the Dark Side of the Ring series that's on Viceland. It's going to be debuting May 22nd, and it's going to be wrestlers telling their stories. MVP, he's on there, so it looks pretty interesting from the trailer I saw.
I have not seen the trailer, the Dark Side of the Ring documentaries. The ones that I've seen, I haven't watched the Von Erich one, and I think the Gino Hernandez one.
Yeah, those are like the only ones left.
Is coming out today or yesterday. I don't even know what exactly happened, but I mean, I like what Vice does. There's some iffy points. There's some, there's some qualms that I could take away from them.
Oh.
They're not perfect by any means necessary, but they're good for the casual or even non-wrestling fans out there that don't know a lot about the in-depths and the history of wrestling. And Ryan Satin apparently got some heat on the internet because he didn't know about the Gino Hernandez story, and Dave Meltzer just buried his ass.
Oh, because Dave Meltzer's correct all the time.
Dave Meltzer knows everything.
Shout out! I heard your boy Wade Keller on Sam Roberts this morning while I was at work. I didn't know Vince used to call him up for stuff.
I mean, I've been knowing about this for years because I've been a VIP member for years, and he tells the same stories all the same time. So yes, he called up Wade and asked if it would have been a good idea for the brand split to happen, have Rock on SmackDown, have Stone Cold on Raw. So, you can thank my boy Wade Keller for the brand split.
Did you know what the original brand split was supposed to be, though? Monday nights was strictly going to be WCW, and then SmackDown was going to be WWF.
I highly doubt that Vince was going to put his brand on the inferior show.
That was an idea. It didn't actually happen. It was an idea. Listen to the boy Bruce Pritchard. No, but yeah, Wade Keller. I might have to actually start listening to this guy. I hear him only like 4 times a year whenever he's on Sam's pod.
I hear him like 4 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah, not 4 times. At least every night before I go to bed, I listen to his Wade Keller hotline.
All right. Speaking of podcasts, Jungle Boy was on Talk Is Jericho. Yes, AEW talent talking to each other, recording the conversations. Jungle Boy.
He speaks English? I've just heard him grunt and pound his chest.
The story of the actual Jungle Boy name is actually quite funny. He he crouched down while he was waiting for his opponent to walk to the ring, and the announcer said, Jungle Boy, and he was like, what? He didn't like it at first, but then he just started running with it. He talked about his father, Luke Perry, and how his dad was unbelievably overjoyed that he got signed with AEW, and how apparently he was supposed to put his dad through a table. His dad was going to do a table spot with him one day.
Fortunately, that did not happen.
Yeah. It's a really great listen. You get to learn a lot about Jack Perry. I highly recommend you go check that out. All right, so apparently Alexa Bliss and Buddy Murphy are no more. Rumors have been swirling around that they called off their engagement. Apparently, they stopped living together in September of last year.
Oh my God. So much tea.
For all of you wrestling jamotes who think you got a chance, go ahead.
I'm going to Twitter right now.
Sliding.
I'm gonna shoot my shot like Steph Curry.
Don't use the Bulletcast account though. Use your personal.
Use my personal account.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna be like Kevin Durant. I'm gonna shoot my shot, but I'm gonna tear a quad or tear a calf.
Oh my God.
It's gonna completely fail.
All right. Well, Coach Jerry Lynn, famed from ECW, amazing matches with Rob Van Dam back in the '90s. Hell, he might have been the original Kenny Omega because they do look similar. They do. He is a official coach now with All Elite Wrestling. I don't know. I might have to spend a little money to go meet Jerry Lynn at Starrcast. He's only like $40. It's not that bad.
Jerry Lynn, one of the most underrated wrestlers, maybe of all time.
Seriously,
the matches he had in ECW, TNA, late '90s, early 2000s, some of the greatest matches you can see. And just he doesn't get a whole lot of buzz just because he was doing it kind of under the radar, you might say. But He's a very good wrestler, great wrestling mind. I mean, he's been wrestling like up until a couple years ago. He had his retirement match with X-Pac, and it was just a fantastic career that he's had, and I'm happy. He's even transitioned nicely as a referee. The man doesn't age. He looks the same as he's done the last 20 years. It's incredible. And
he and RVD, they look the same. I wonder if it's the herbs.
It might be, but if him being a coach, right now we have Billy Gunn and him, Jerry Lynn as legit ones. Maybe Arn Anderson, Dean Malenko down the line. Who exactly knows? That can be a nice core group of veterans who know what they're doing and are smart to the business.
Yes. AEW, they look like they're really taking off. I'm excited. All right, inside of the ring, Chris Jericho, the Painmaker, baby, will challenge the Rainmaker Kaz Okada at Dominion for the IWGP Heavyweight title. Let me tell you, Gato, what's the promoter's name over there? Gato? Put the title on my boy Y2J. From going to Kenny Omega and then to Okada, let's make it happen. Jericho's my pick for that Omega match. I'm throwing that out there this early. Making it happen.
I don't know if Jericho's going to actually win the belt, but I think this might be a good sign to maybe AEW and New Japan work more together. But I think you don't want to take this, you don't want to go out and say, okay, this is a confirmation that AEW and New Japan are going to work, because I think Chris Jericho is just an anomaly. He's the number one guy in the company in terms of pay and, prestige. So he's going to probably have different clauses, and he has different stuff in his contract compared to other guys. So I think him going to New Japan, it's a good sign. Not saying this means we're going to see Kenny Omega, the Bucks, and Cody turn up at Dominion and help. Well, I don't think he's going to help him out because Jericho's a bitter old man heel. But it should be fun. I like what Jericho's doing. I liked what he did on Cody Rhodes' YouTube channel yesterday. They did the run-in at the Georgia Indie Show last weekend. Finally, some sort of setup and build towards the Jericho-Omega match. Not a whole lot of builds being, really... Not a lot of builds going into Double or Nothing, kind of like what All In was. But, should be fun.
Should be fun. I might actually have to watch that live. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so what was like the other week, I joked about Goldberg for the WWE title, and apparently that's being advertised for the Saudi Arabia show. Bill Goldberg apparently is going to face Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. Card subject to change. But yeah.
Card subject to change is correct. Does this mean Goldberg's winning? I hope not. I mean, if Goldberg is going to go in there and have a match and he loses to Kofi Kingston, I mean, I'm not completely opposed to that. It builds Kofi up even more, has him get some credibility. I mean, he's very popular, but he still has the stigma of being a mid-card wrestler for being for 10 years now. So if he is facing Goldberg, which I don't know, I haven't even heard anything like that, but I'm not opposed to it. If this means Kofi wins, now if Goldberg wins and he goes on a 3-month reign until SummerSlam or whatever, then I will be opposed to it.
Yeah, Goldberg holding the Universal title, that was enough because the title didn't, and frankly still kind of really doesn't mean anything, but
But that Goldberg-Lesnar match at WrestleMania was the best match of the show, and don't fight me, I will.
33?
It was the best match of the show.
Yeah, I think I might actually have to go with that one. It was like 5 minutes and 10 seconds of pure car wreck. You gotta love it. Alright, let's get into the fan mail questions. Hootie Hoo 420.
Hootie Hoo.
Glad to see my boy Brandon back on TV. Philip, I've heard you say that you're old and washed. So hey, brother, let my boy BT take the reins. Wow!
I mean, I am the big dog. I am the champion.
Whoa, hey.
I mean...
So when he says take the reins, like the Roman reigns?
Yeah.
Like the Joe Anawai reigns?
Because I'm the big dog.
Okay. Alright, Blue Rhino. Kofi on Raw isn't a bad sight. Honestly, I'd like to see it more often. What about you guys?
Kofi on Raw. Well, we're going to talk about the wild card rule
yeah.
in a second. I got some hot takes about it.
So do I, brother.
It's a mess.
Alright. Hootie Hoo 420 again?
Hootie Hoo, my boy.
Yo, Usos and Revival, 2 badass tag teams reduced to this comedy bullcrap. Vincent, let me see. Vincent, I don't know what the hell is going on in your head, but god damn it, it's time to give Hunter the damn book. Oh my goodness.
Hot takes out here.
Look, man. I we're gonna keep that going. All right, backwoods 420. Guys, I know Philip is a WWE shill, but hear me out. If Raw continues to be flaming-ish, then replace it with an NXT recap on the regular BC and save yourselves from this insanity. Okay.
Well, if you want an NXT recap, you can go over to Under the Radar. Every single week, I
Yes.
cover NXT television on a weekly basis.
All right, and then Copenhagen Smith, the last one. When is the Bulletcast wild card rule going to take effect? Brandon shows up on the Black Power ranking, and Philip shows up on Under the Radar. I have no idea. No idea at all. Send that guy a little praise for his contribution to the show. When's that happening, man?
I mean, you've asked, and it's my baby.
Okay,
It's my
this whole platform is my child. This is my child.
But it's not yours. I adopted it. I'm like CPS. I took it away from you. You don't deserve it.
Whoa!
You weren't taking care of it well.
Dude.
It's mine.
Were you trying to say I'm an unfit father? That's a common stigma in African American culture. I don't need that.
It's mine.
Dude, you know what that title's doing? It's doing the Will Smith to Uncle Phil. Why you don't love me, man? Why you don't want me, man?
And I'm right here with you, man. I'm Uncle Phil. I'm gonna hug you, so it's fine.
No lie, look. Hey, you think Avengers Endgame will make you cry? Watch that scene. I'm 23 years old. I'm a grown man. I'll get a little misty-eyed. God damn it. All right, let's talk Monday Night Raw. let's talk whatever the hell WWE put out Monday night. So, superstars from SmackDown invade Monday Night Raw. Rematches are made. Vincent Kennedy McMahon shows up, and now look, I've heard people say, why don't they just chant, please retire, or give Hunter the damn book, or something like that. I understand that, but it's Vince, you're gonna cheer the legend of the man. I completely understand that. He comes out there, Roman shows up when he's a SmackDown guy, Kofi's a SmackDown guy, Daniel Bryan's a SmackDown guy, AJ Styles is a Raw guy. All these guys showing up and whatnot. This wild card rule, so basically 4 or 6 members of Raw can move to SmackDown.
No, originally it was said to be 3.
Originally it was said to be 3, then became 4, and then if you look at the numbers, it came out to like 6. Yeah, so
Exactly.
yeah, so apparently, I think this is the slow die of the brand split. Now I'm in favor of the brand split. I love it. It should shine certain talent, like it did back in the mid 2000s, and even with 2016. 2017 SmackDown Live. Look, the wild card rule can be okay if, like John Cena, when he was trying to find a road to WrestleMania, he was on Raw for like 2.5, 3 months, and then he went over to SmackDown. He wasn't going back and forth every single week. He wasn't doing that. All right. So the wild card rule could be held in effect to a certain extent, but don't oversaturate us with big stars. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts. I'm with you. I do think the brands. I would, if you're gonna tell me to either vote for a brand split or no brand split, I will say brand split just because it forces you to use every single person on your roster effectively, and that hasn't really been the case for WWE. Maybe even the entire brand split, you might argue, but WWE's ratings have been tanking recently, and I think this is one of the most obvious signs of frustration and desperation from Vince and WWE that I've seen possibly in my entire life, because they come out. Okay, so first Roman Reigns says on Twitter, whatever, Friday or Saturday, something.
Cue my music, I'll be there.
That I'm going to be there. I have unfinished business. He shows up. He doesn't even say what his unfinished business is. He just comes out, talks to Vince, and then for some reason Kofi shows up, and Daniel Bryan shows up, and like, this makes no sense because why would they show up along with Roman Reigns? And then Vince puts in this wild card rule, says that 3 people can join from whatever the opposite brand to the other brand, and then Lars Sullivan shows up, and why would he show up? Because was he just hanging around at wherever the hell they were? Because is Lars Sullivan, or did he know that this was happening? And
He read it on the forums.
He did read it on the forums, and then he made a racist comment about it, and then he showed up. And this is like literally the worst time to have a wild card rule to like break up the brand split, because this is literally like the next week after certain wrestlers are still jumping from brand to brand. So Roman Reigns still feels like a Raw guy. AJ Styles still feels like a SmackDown guy. So people that are jumping from brand to brand, you don't associate them with that other brand yet. You just did it right after they switched brands, so you don't have. It's like, oh my God, Roman Reigns is on Raw when we just saw him like 2 weeks ago on Raw. And there's no reason why. There's no explanation how the wild card rule is picked. Is it just wrestlers just show up whenever they want? Are they assigned?
It's a never-ending superstar shakeup.
Which is never a good thing because wrestlers should never be assigned to something. And then even in the opening segment, Vince McMahon says, you and Seth and AJ, you're going to team together and you're going to face Bobby Lashley and Baron Corbin or whoever. And then Seth is like, I'm not going to do that. No chance I'm going to do that. What happens? He's a good little boy, and he does what his daddy tells him, and he is in that tag team match.
Look, I watched the opening segment back, and Vince says wild card rule, and you could kind of see Kofi and Roman roll their eyes, and I'm like, is Hunter going to come out and say, no, we're not going to do this? Like, is Vince having a senile moment? What's going to happen? But apparently that wasn't the case. And look, this is obviously a ploy to get ratings really fast, and I was looking at it. Fox, they want WWE to have 3 million, a 3 million rating or something like that.
Viewers.
3 million viewers, thank you. I couldn't think of the word. To obtain to keep the Fox deal. They're not even pulling, they're barely pulling 1.8. Like, come on now, man.
I mean, just everything with this brand, we kind of talked about these last few weeks that okay, the brand split's probably going to die. It makes sense because you have two different networks, two different high up entities going that are on opposite sides, and you're trying to feed both of them and keep the other side happy. So it would make sense for the brand split to dissipate and have all your big names on both shows. Okay, so you say we're going to have this wild card rule in effect, but you don't do it now. You do it after SummerSlam. You do it maybe the week of the first show on Fox. You don't do it right now because, as I said, it just reeks of desperation and just trying to pull a rating stunt. And even everything on Raw and SmackDown with the main events and the WWE Championship matches, I wouldn't say it's hot-shotting, but it's like you're giving away these WWE Championship matches unadvertised, no real build. And
the matches were good.
The matches were good, but you're giving away WWE Championship matches when they've been very good lately of holding those back and not doing a whole lot of those. And now, if the ratings keep dipping, are they just going to keep going at the Attitude Era, even WCW or WWF side, where they just kept throwing title matches and they didn't really mean anything?
Yeah, I don't know. So the wild card rule, it will be okay if they don't do it every single week.
But they will.
They will. They will. Because this is another problem. WWE has 30 creative writers. A lot of those people don't know how to write wrestling. Okay? Hell, go back to the days when it was just Vince Pritchard and Patterson for all I care. I don't know. Maybe you do need to give Hunter the damn book. That's probably what you need to do. Because apparently Hunter runs 205 Live and all I hear is positive things from that. And then we know what NXT is. NXT is phenomenal. It's effing amazing.
NXT UK is great.
Yes.
I mean,
I didn't want to be one of these guys. Maybe it is time for Vince to step down.
I mean, I don't even know what it would take legally for that to happen if Vince doesn't want to.
Maybe when the XFL picks up.
But Vince even said that that's not gonna, deviate him from being being in WWE. It's not. He said XFL is not going to affect the WWE business. That's what he says. But he probably said that 20 years ago when the original XFL happened, and everybody says that the XFL is maybe one of the reasons why WWE kind of, maybe went on a little downturn after the Attitude Era.
Yeah. I think the best analogy I could ever make to how long are we going here? We're at 24 minutes. We're not that bad. Look, I watch Kitchen Nightmares, Gordon Ramsay. I know they're years old, but I saw this one episode, and it really relates to this topic. This father is running his company into the ground. I'm not saying WWE's getting run into the ground. They're getting a lot of money, but the restaurant was basically on the going to see foreclosure, and the son was trying to make changes, and the father wouldn't let the reins go. Gordon finally got through to him. And then the son got to take over, and the father got to sit back and enjoy retirement. And now business is apparently booming at the restaurant. We, the fans, need to be Gordon Ramsay to VKM. That's how I see it, man.
Well, if you remember back in the early 90s, mid 90s, that wrestling was just not very good. It was maybe the worst it ever was, and we could argue
Yeah.
that wrestling in WWE's case is worse than it's ever been. And we have AEW coming around the corner. They're not going to have a TV deal until October. That first week with SmackDown being on Tuesday or on Friday is when AEW allegedly is going to be on TNT on Tuesday. Is it going to be just like the Monday Night Wars? Yes, it's not going to be head-to-head competition, but I mean, if it took a lot for Vince McMahon to smarten up and go with Stone Cold and be like, look, I just have to do with something I wouldn't want to do, but I have to do this. And if AEW gets hot enough to where Vince McMahon has to be like, look, whatever I'm doing isn't working, maybe he does turn to Triple H, maybe he lets other people, have more of a voice and more of a say-so. Who exactly knows, but this Raw, especially the wild card rule in general, it was just all over the place and just
It was flaming-ish.
No sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't even gotten through the rest of Raw. I mean, I don't know, man. And then they're gonna stop uploading YouTube clips from Raw to YouTube right away because they're trying to keep all the ratings they can get. And I don't know, man. All right, so look, after that, we have Bobby Lashley and Baron Corbin defeat Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. Okay.
As I said, Seth Rollins said he's not going to team with AJ, but then he listens to his teacher.
Okay, hold the hell on. Seth Rollins is a Universal Champion. Why wasn't he in the opening segment saying, look, this is Monday Night Rollins. I'm the champ. This is my show. What the hell are you guys doing here?
Because WWE has no stars, and the McMahons are the stars.
Look, man, they have stars. They're superstars. All right, according to the Colts.
Big S superstars with a little trademark at the end.
Yeah.
Not a little S.
Look, I don't know. In ring is good. There's no continuity. There's no story. That's the problem here. Hire people who actually know how to write wrestling. You don't need 30 writers. God damn it. Hell, let the producers and road agents, let them have input on storylines.
And I don't want to just sit here and, us sound like those bitter wrestling fans that just crap and everything. There's some stuff on Raw that I actually liked, and I thought they did some good things. But the big things they're messing up. They're messing up the really big things, and that just is indicative of maybe what's going on with the ratings. And
Yeah.
it's not good.
So Braun Strowman trashes Sami Zayn, literally throws him in a trash can.
I mean, we kind of speculated that Braun Strowman was going to be the person to finally shut up Sami Zayn. And he did. He shut him up.
For like 24 hours.
And yeah, I don't know why you throw Sami Zayn in a dumpster and practically kill him when he's going to turn around the next night. No selling of it, and he...
Yeah, so what you're telling me is Braun Strowman was in a dumpster for like a week and a half. Sammy's in there for 24 hours. Sammy's stronger than Braun?
And then he gets literally buried in a trash can, in a dumpster, and he comes back the next night and is competing and believably could have won the WWE Championship.
Yeah. We're going to talk about SmackDown. SmackDown was a lot better than this. Lucha House Party defeats some Jobbers. Ricochet defeats Robert Roode. Okay, this actually had some continuity. Robert Roode said, hey, why wasn't I chosen for this Money in the Bank match? I beat this guy a couple weeks ago. And then so they have a match and Ricochet gets his win back.
I mean, I don't want to say I called it, but I'm pretty sure I've said Ricochet lost this, but then he's going to just end up getting his win back, and Robert Roode is right back to where he started.
Yeah.
He missed the week after he re-debuted, and then he loses his next match to the same guy he just beat in like 4 minutes, so he was even a worse loss than the loss Ricochet took to Robert Roode the first time. I don't know what they're doing with Robert Roode. I didn't have very many high hopes for him because I'm not the biggest fan of him.
I loved Robert in TNA. He was great and better than this.
I don't know. So much is wrong with this show.
Yeah. So Samoa Joe and Dominic have a segment. Dominic goes to get his dad something. You see Joe following him. I thought he was going to choke him out. I really did. I was like, oh, come on, do it. But they just talk to each other.
And Dominic, I know he's green and he's not a wrestler, he's not an actor or anything, but
that's a big boy.
He wasn't selling that he was scared of Joe all that well. He was just kind of looking at him like he was listening to him. But I mean, I don't want to put too much stock into that. He's just not a good actor, and maybe they were pressed for time and they couldn't do a reshoot, or it is live. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans, they brawl. Yeah.
The women get their peach cobbler invitations, and they say they're not going to show up, but then they show up.
That's very true. The Viking Raiders defeat Hawkins and Ryder.
And another thing, I think Liv Morgan should send Dana Brooke a cease and assist.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That I did.
Where is Liv Morgan?
I did notice that.
Maybe like Dana Brooke just like sucked up like Liv Morgan's essence, and now she just disappeared or something, and now Dana Brooke is Liv Morgan.
I did not know where you were going with that one.
I know what I when I was saying, I was like, this is not going to be good, but I think I redeemed myself at the end.
The people on Patreon are loving this right now. Yeah. So yeah, the Viking Raiders defeat Hawkins and Ryder. They defeat the tag team champions. So does NXT not matter? Where the hell are the NXT tag team titles? When KO was pulling double duty, the NXT title was on Raw.
Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know either. All right, Firefly Funhouse. What are your thoughts?
Another good episode. They go back to the hurt heel, little whatever you call them, biker gloves that he had on the first episode, and Mercy the Buzzard seems as though it's like Waylon Mercy.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. It's going to be interesting to see where they go with this. Like I said a couple weeks ago, I do believe that Bray Wyatt needs to be like Doink, crazy and kooky outside of the ring, but a sadistic SOB in between them ropes.
Or you can do like some sort of split personality to where he's nice and fun-loving. So almost kind of like what you're saying, where he's nice and fun-loving, but then it's maybe almost like the Festus character. Once the bell rings, he turns into this sadistic monster.
I loved Festus. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought Festus was great. I used to have the game, and you'd ring the bell, and he would just become sadistic. It was all awesome. Bring back Festus.
I don't think Luke Gallows is on board with that.
Festus was great. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go with the Firefly Funhouse. Roman Reigns defeats Drew McIntyre
Via disqualification.
via disqualification.
So now the big dog is fighting Drew McIntyre and Elias.
Yes.
So now Elias just shows up, but Elias didn't count because he was with Shane McMahon, and Shane McMahon's McMahon, and he gets to be on both shows. So the wild card rule doesn't affect Elias or Shane McMahon, but it affects everybody else. And it's only 4 people, but then when we get to SmackDown, there's a bunch more people than 4, and I don't know.
Yeah. You know what'll make you feel better? OC hot. Yeah, so Usos badasses on SmackDown. They were this week too. Maybe it's just the colors. Maybe it's just the colors. That's probably the problem.
They crippin'?
Yeah. Bloods aren't hard. Crips are. Maybe that's what's going.
I'm staying out of this.
Oh wait, yeah.
I'm staying out of this.
I don't know what.
I love YG. YG 400.
It's just a metaphor, guys. No literal heat. But yeah, but there was heat because of the Uzi hot and all that other stuff. Yeah, what the hell's going on with the Revival, man? What is this ish?
I'm not gonna lie. When they did the whole Uzi hot shtick, and the Revival were literally selling their asses off.
Literally,
I was laughing pretty hard. I wasn't laughing at what I think Vince McMahon thought was funny. I was just laughing at the fact of, by God, they're actually making the Revival do this. They're making them do a boot scoot across the ring, and they're like,
they were taking bumps on.
They're scratching their genitalia. They're doing everything on national television so they can be buried, and they're showing so much ass.
Oh,
not in the literal sense, but they almost did. They were. Anyways, we're gonna climb away from that edge.
It was something. It was something to behold.
I was just laughing at the fact of how they're booking the Revival and how Vince thinks doing this to them buries them, when in fact it just gets them more over once they leave the company.
Abso-freaking-tootly. Yeah. Yeah, apparently Vince has a very strange sense of humor. I've heard stories, and yeah. Maybe those are for another time. All right, so the main event was Kofi Kingston defending the WWE Championship against Daniel Bryan in a WrestleMania rematch. Match was good.
It was a good match. It was a long match, but I think it was hurt by the fact that there was 2 commercial breaks during the match, so it hurt the flow, especially on TV and probably in the arena too, because once they go to commercials, they don't do a whole lot. That being said, it was good, not better than WrestleMania. A little questionable having Daniel Bryan lose like this on his comeback match, but I think on SmackDown it made sense why they did that.
Whoa, wait, you know what I just realized? Remember, what was that pay-per-view that'd be after WrestleMania? It'd be like Backlash, Paybacklash, whatever. That's basically what Monday Night Raw was. It was Paybacklash.
Paybacklash Raw.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. All right, let's move over to Friday. Not Friday. Jesus, it's Tuesday Night SmackDown. I'm so flustered. I don't know what's going on.
He's like 6 months ahead of himself right
Yeah,
now.
maybe I just want Fox to just swoop in and change things, shake things up again. I don't know.
Now you're saying make SmackDown great again?
Yes, make SmackDown great again. Make SDL great again. Baby! Alright, so Kofi Kingston, AJ Styles, and Sami Zayn all have a promo in the ring. They were like, oh my god, AJ's finally back on SmackDown. He hasn't been there in like 2 weeks. Calm down. Sami Zayn's there. Apparently he smells because he was in a garbage can. Ha ha ha. So, what we get later on in the show, triple threat, Styles, Kingston, Zayn, WWE title match. Thoughts, comments, concerns?
On the segment or on the match or both?
Segment, we'll get to the match later.
Segment was fine. As you said, it was kind of hilarious that they try to make AJ's return to SmackDown after like 2 weeks this big thing, this phenomenal thing, and it was just like, okay, he's back.
Phenomenal. I see what you did there.
Mm-hmm. That's what I do. I'm a wordsmith. A lyrical genius.
You're a lyrical miracle.
Spherical.
Oh. I feel like we're doing something here on the BC. Alright, so moving on from that, KO has a car promo. Love it. He was in his car cutting a promo. Said it's his birthday. He doesn't need to be there. Happy belated birthday, KO.
Speaking of cars, we completely forgot about talking about Miz and Shane McMahon get into a little backstage kerfuffle. And as I said, I liked how they shot the angle.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was great. That was okay.
I liked how it wasn't they didn't do what they did last time Shane McMahon had some angle next to a limo where they had a camera inside the vehicle when you would why the hell would there be a camera inside there? But I loved how they had the excuse of Kayla or Charlie, whoever the hell it was, trying to get a question out of Shane. Shane blows her off, and then we get the camera going with them, and we shoot from up above the stairs, and it's like a nice bird's eye view angle, something we don't really see all that often.
Yeah.
And then Shane hits Miz with a low blow, and one thing is that supposed to put heat on Shane because Seth Rollins, the top babyface on Raw, was just doing that to Brock Lesnar a month ago.
Well, that's how you beat him.
That's how you beat. So Miz and Brock Lesnar are one and the same.
I'm talking about that's how you go to beat Brock. Miz, no.
Oh, okay. Different set of rules that you have to.
I mean, Brock Lesnar was a beast. Miz is must see. Yes.
And I like the little promos they cut. Seth, AJ, or Kofi. They had some good little promos backstage without the interviewers. I just think that's something they should do a whole lot more of, just like short 30 to 45 second promos.
Honestly, you know what they need to do? Like these promos that are on people's social media and on the YouTube channel, like Mustafa Ali's promos, put those on TV.
And you can cut out stuff like the Lucha House Party against the Jobbers.
Yes! Like, not everybody needs to be on TV physically, but you can do stuff like that. That's fine. And where the hell is Buddy Murphy?
I heard he was on like a house show one time. Or he was doing like some pre-show stuff. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Actually, the Iconics were on Raw as well. So even the Iconics were a part of the wild card rule, and they showed up.
I thought they were on that network, YouTube exclusive.
They were like on Raw to in between segments. I don't know which segment, but they were on Raw as well. So technically, the Iconics were a part of there too. So
yeah.
It's not actually 4 people. And
look, honest to God, I'm not gonna lie. I like Buddy Murphy better than Mustafa Ali.
It's just Ali.
Oh, that's right, Ali. I like Murphy better. So
I did like the promo Ali cut on SmackDown this week, where
No, yeah, I mean,
he
the
was
guy's
talking
good.
about whatever, like the street light and how it's so far away, but he's gonna reach the light.
He's going to grab that light, he's going to grab VKM's imaginary brass ring. Yeah. All right, speaking of Ali, he goes up against Andrade Cien Almas. I'm still going to give him his name because he deserves it. But it ends with RKO's. Randy Orton was once a legend killer. Now he's a legend. So now he's the NGK, the new generation killer.
I mean, that's just what Randy Orton does. Shows up out of nowhere, hits an RKO, and leaves. Must be good.
Nice pay. Big pop. $1 million per RKO he drops. Big money.
And no F's given on Twitter.
Yeah, shout out. Kim Orton was on Table for Three this week. I'm gonna have to check it out. It was her and
Mrs. Angle and Rebby Sky.
Yes, I'm gonna have to check that out. Saw Rebby Sky live once at APW back in the garage back in the day. Good times. Very good times.
Full moon.
All right. So there are the vacated SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships were crowned on Tuesday. Shane McMahon, honest to God, thought he was going to crown Elias and himself champion. I did think that. But, he was just going to award them to Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. And the Usos come out there far better on SmackDown than they are on Raw. They still felt legitimate. And they said, yo, you can't just hand these over. They got to earn them. And Shane was like, you know what? You do got to earn your spot. So, Usos versus Eric Rowan and D. Bry for the tag titles. And there you go. My boy Daniel Bryan, tag team champions with Rowan. The planet's tag team champions. And shout out to my boy. What was this guy's name again? I forgot. Here we go. In Brightness Day X, he did this amazing hemp version of the tag team titles.
On the Instagram, go check it out.
On the Instagram, yes. One of our graphic designers for the BC.
We got a crew here. Whatever happened to that young boy that used to work behind the scenes? What happened to him?
I was just here one day.
Just a one-off.
Just a one-off, yeah. He didn't make a cut. You know how we do it. Gotta trim the fat. Spring cleaning.
I feel it. The match itself, the segment, it was good. As I said, it made sense to have Daniel Bryan lose to Kofi, get a little bit of credibility to Kofi, beating him again. If you're gonna have Daniel Bryan go over and be kind of the leader of the tag team division, because as we know, the SmackDown tag team division is absolute garbage.
Look, the promo Daniel Bryan cut on the WWE.com after they won the titles, unbelievable. He talks about how there's women's revolutions, how the tag team division is a joke because the Usos and New Day and Heavy Machinery like to joke around. He talks about tag teams main eventing WrestleMania. He talks about how he's going to bring legitimacy back to the tag team division, and I assume we are going to get a hemp tag team title. So kudos to him, man.
Why are these promos on YouTube? Why can't they be on TV where 2-3 million people can watch them?
I almost played the promo here. I almost changed my promo pick of the week, but I didn't. Yeah.
Hopefully they get a nice solid run. It looks like they're teasing Heavy Machinery versus them. If they do, I'm scared it's going to be serious heels against the lighthearted baby faces where they try to, have fun with the heels. And Daniel Bryan's great at comedy. He can do. Daniel Bryan is fantastic. He can do anything. Comedy, serious things, whatever. But the way they've been portraying Heavy Machinery lately is not the way I would have them be perceived, but it is what it is, and they are kind of the second best tag team on SmackDown at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, the Raw tag team titles have been utter-ish for quite some time. I mean, the New Day bar run was okay, it was fine. When Rollins and Dean got together, both times for the titles they were okay. But SmackDown Live tag titles, since their inception, they've always had a pretty nice run with Usos, New Day, American Alpha, Slater and Rhino. That story, it was fantastic. Where's 2016 SmackDown Live, man? That was great. Those were really good times.
Back in the day, back in the old day.
Yes. All right. Well, moving on from that, Shane McMahon stands tall over The Miz because Miz just makes a run in on SmackDown. Taking full advantage of the wild card rule, baby.
Pretty straightforward. Just heel gets the upper hand on the babyface, lays him out, puts sympathy on the babyface.
I forgot they have a match at Money in the Bank. Totally forgot.
Well, you completely forgot about their segment on Raw, so not shocking you forgot about their match on Money in the Bank.
Understandable. Understandable. All right. So Fire and Desire, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville defeat Ember Moon and the newly re-blonde Carmella.
Mm-hmm. Absolution or whatever the hell their name is now gets a win. So they're
Demandy's Donuts.
Demandy's Donuts really getting a strong, solid push on SmackDown. I think they're good. I don't know where they're going with this. They're really having Sonya Deville be, very nice to Mandy. Is this going to lead to a swerve to where Sonya's the heel and Mandy's the babyface? I don't know how Mandy would be as a babyface. Who knows?
Oh, she's hot. She's a heel. That's just how it works. Yeah, I thought the quote-unquote V-trigger was her finisher. Apparently, it's the sit-out double-arm facebuster, like the Angel's Wings, or what's Ciampa's finisher, the Fairy Tale Ending? Yeah, so, all right, I dig it.
Mandy just taking everybody's moves.
She makes them look better, though. I mean, come on, it's obvious.
She's like Shane McMahon, only she does them better.
Lars Sullivan attacks R-Truth and Matt Hardy. Dude, what was with that pose Matt Hardy was doing? That was great. That was hilarious.
Him versus Potato Face, WrestleMania 36.
I saw a meme. It was like SmackDown versus Raw with those two, and that thing was funny. Yeah. Or Sullivan just attacking.
So are we just going to get like a handicap match to where he just beats up both old guys? Or are we going to get R-Truth and Matt Hardy as a tag team? I do like R-Truth. I wish he would kind of drop the stupid bit a bit. Like, it is kind of like a stereotype, to have the black man be dumb. He could be funny, but
we're very intelligent people.
I wish he could be he could be funny. He could be like, New Day funny, where it's smart comedy and sometimes it could be a little
towing the fourth wall.
A little juvenile humor, but for the most part, he's serious and he gets down to business when he needs to. Especially, he's been with the company for so long. I wish maybe, one last ride.
Yeah, he should have won the WWE title, but that's here nor there. Honestly, one thing I do wish they would have done with the quote-unquote dumb R-Truth character when he was U.S. champion, have John Cena answer the challenge, but as Thugonomics, and R-Truth would have been like, I don't recognize this John Cena. I thought that would have been, haha. That's just me. Maybe I have Vince McMahon humor. I don't know.
Or maybe you have John Cena versus John Cena. He just mimes him the entire match.
You never know. All right, Aleister Black cuts a promo talking about why he's there, what are his goals. Simple.
Simple. I wish they did this before he actually started wrestling. It's just like he came to Raw and SmackDown, had a bunch of matches, got a solid push, and now we're learning who he is. And it's almost kind of like Bray Wyatt promos, to where it's just a bunch of spooky, I don't even know what the hell to say. It's just he's saying a lot of words that don't really make a whole lot of sense, and I don't know how this is going to trigger to the main roster and in the ring.
I don't know either. I hope that they kind of continue some. Is he in the Money in the Bank?
He is not.
He is not. I hope they kind of continue some nice trending waters with him. I think he's a great talent, and he has a pretty badass gimmick, and his entrance is great without the creaking noise or whatever.
He could come out as a heel or babyface. You could have him go against Kofi or Finn for the titles. I would go with him as a babyface, but if you are just lacking heel depth, I would be open to turning him and having him go over there. I really don't know what they're going to do with him. I'm kind of scared, to be honest. They are putting him in these prominent segments to where they're building his character up. But we've seen it in the past. You can get all the build in the world, and then you get on Raw and SmackDown. You have a couple matches, and you just fade to black.
Dun dun dun.
I'm here all night. Don't forget to tip your waiters.
Oh yes, is that where the video should have faded to black? Can we just stop here?
No, we're just starting to peak.
Yeah. Oh hey. All right, so the main event was Kofi Kingston defending the WWE Championship against AJ Styles and Sami Zayn. Two title defenses within the span of 2 days. Kofi Kingston making him look a little strong, building him up before he goes up against KO.
Really good match. I thought they had a good, believable near fall with Sami Zayn after the KO.
3 Blue Thunder Bombs.
After the KO interference, and just solid. As I kind of said, maybe tone it back on the WWE title matches right now. Maybe they are just hot shotting and just throwing all these big name, big matches out against the wall just so they can draw some sort of viewers. It's going to be, I mean, the Raw ratings went up. I haven't seen the SmackDown ratings exactly, but I'm not saying this is a fix. It might be a quick fix. We have to stay tuned 8 weeks from now and see where everything lies.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they move forward. I didn't know the Raw ratings went up. I didn't know that.
A wee bit.
Yeah. I mean...
But it was just last week was so low, it's kind of...
Were they lower than the December ratings? Because I know December was pretty bad.
Last week's was like the lowest ever non-holiday rating.
Wow. Yeah, we gotta do something there, man. I saw a tweet from the boy Tommaso Ciampa. He said, "Doc says this doesn't look good. It looks great. Happy birthday to the greatest sports entertainer of all time." So it looks like Ciampa's gonna be coming back pretty soon. Nice little speedy recovery, hopefully.
Well, a neck injury
Yeah.
looking great means maybe instead of a 14-month recovery, maybe it's a 10-month recovery.
You never know.
I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be back for TakeOver 25.
No.
But
if he did, he has like Cena healing strength.
Hopefully we see him maybe at Royal Rumble.
Hopefully we do see him at Royal Rumble. You know, Tommaso Ciampa, I really came to enjoy that guy during his NXT title run. All right, so we just move on to Superstar Spotlight. Who do we got?
I will go with Chris Jericho. I think Chris Jericho has had an eventful week since we last stopped recording. Made the appearance at the Indie show with Kenny Omega. Made the appearance via satellite on a video package for New Japan. Had a nice promo with Cody on the YouTube channel. So Chris Jericho getting his name out there, doing a lot of stuff to build up Double or Nothing and his brand. Good week for Jericho.
I think it was a very good week for Jericho. I think I might have to go Chris too, you know?
Not a whole lot of bright spots on WWE this week.
No, there were not. Oh, we still got like 9 minutes, man.
We got 9. We're actually going short. After all the stuff we talked about, I went on a rampage. And I know you actually forgot to talk about this day in wrestling history, Philip. What is happening on this day in wrestling history?
Oh, I forgot this day in wrestling. I skipped over that?
Yeah, so we can filibuster some time with that.
Oh, hey now. All right, this day in wrestling history. Jerry Lawler wins the AWA title in 1998. He beat a perfect man by the name of Kurt Hennig. WCW Slamboree 1999, Diamond Dallas Page loses the WCW World title to Kevin Nash. Sting and Goldberg had a little tussle during that event. Raw in 05 was headlined by Edge and the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. There was a Raw on this day in 2011. There was a SmackDown on this day in 2014. I believe the Usos and John Cena teamed up to go against the Wyatt family. And there was a Raw on this day in 2016 where the Club, AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows went up against WWE World Champion at the time, Roman Reigns, and the face-painted Usos. And Chris Jericho had a kerfuffle with somebody.
Going back to the AJ Seth Rollins tag team match for a second, they are kind of teasing maybe a heel turn for AJ, not exactly, with AJ and Seth getting into a little altercation, and then AJ just kind of comes back on SmackDown on the next night and he's just happy go lucky AJ Styles, not really selling all that much about what's going on with Seth Rollins. Maybe that's just WWE and Vince McMahon. If he doesn't remember, nobody remembers about what's going on and the consistency with the storytelling. But going forward, if you were to make a prediction next week about the wild card rule, what would you say is going to happen? Is it going to be just the same stuff, that it's going to have Roman Reigns and Kofi and Daniel Bryan, or maybe they sprinkle in Randy Orton hits an RKO out of nowhere for no reason because it's Randy Orton and they try to get a pop out of him? What do you think the wild card rule will be next week? Or do you think they're going to try to say, oh look, it's the wild card rule, it doesn't have to happen every single week, so stay tuned, you never know what's going to happen, and we still don't even know what is the wild card rule in terms of how they determine who goes where? Because some people said, oh, you just crash the party. Other people say you're assigned to it and you're given permission, and it's just all over the place and reeks of desperation.
It does reek of desperation. I don't know exactly what's going to be going on with the wild card rule. Hopefully, it's not every week, like I said. Like, make it every couple of months. Just boom, somebody shows up there, and if they want to pull double duty between both shows, that's fine. If they want to just be on a certain brand for 2 to 3 months, that's okay also.
And another thing that I don't think people are really talking about is that for the wrestlers and for the house show business, like the Monday SmackDown house shows, if this wildcard rule is going to be in effect, like that just completely devalues those, and those should just be thrown out the window. Because if you're going to have Roman and Kofi and Daniel and the top guys on SmackDown go to be on Raw, there's no point of having these house shows on the Monday. And the Raw wrestlers who start on Friday have to work an extra day now on to Tuesday, and that's just so now they only have like literally Thursday is like their only day off.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, let me unmute the mic. I don't know exactly what they're gonna do with that. I mean, the house shows for Monday on SmackDown utilize the talent that's not on TV. Like, the Colognes are actually good wrestlers when they're utilized properly. Look at that 2012 tag run.
But if they're
wasn't that bad?
If they're not booked on TV strong and the fans don't care, I mean, especially a Monday house show, it's probably going to be kids and very casual people.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of hardcore like people going to Double or Nothing are not going to go to a Monday night SmackDown house show.
Double or Nothing can't come soon enough, can it?
2 weeks from now, in Vegas, double fisting slushies. It's going to be amazing.
Whoa. I will be there. I just realized I officially paid off my room and board. It was a span of 2 payments, so Double or Nothing is going to be fun, man. I'm really excited.
I am excited. I mean, only 1 more week left of school, and then I am completely done. I can focus on Double or Nothing, pack it in, go. Still haven't completed the entire itinerary for the weekend. Only there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so trying to pack every little thing into those 3 days.
I'll be there from 22nd to the 27th, so I'll be there for quite a bit.
How much time do we have left? We can just go over what we got planned for Las Vegas.
I did want to play this D-Bry promo, but I mean,
we don't want to get a copyright strike, or we
actually I am fighting WWE for some copyright footage. Forgot to tell you about that.
Well,
and it wasn't even from the WWE YouTube page. It was from some offshoot page. So, yeah.
Tell the people what's going on, Philip.
It was from a what was it? It was the Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant WrestleMania 3 watch along I did with the King of the Hill about a year or so ago, and it's the copyright problem is just the footage of the match in its entirety. That's why I started just doing the promo picture of the match when we do watch-alongs, because like I don't know if that person who uploaded the video, I don't know if they have had copyright claims with WWE, but I disputed the claim, and I haven't heard anything back from WWE yet. They still got about like 26 days or so to combat me on the claim, but we'll see. I'm fighting VKM right now, guys. It's real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stay strong, my brother.
Exactly. I'm doing this for us, man.
Even though it wasn't mine. It wasn't my watch along. It was you and the King of the Hill. How is he doing?
I don't know, man. We were supposed to record some stuff for the people, but he has a child.
He's a hard-working father.
Yeah, he works like 12-hour shifts at Tesla. He has a child, so I understand. I'm not going to pressure him to do a recording with me. Whenever he has some free time, we'll sit down. We'll do another top 5 for the people. Yeah.
Stay tuned. Special recordings going out to Patreon people.
Yes. $1 tier. The audio, you'll get that today, ladies and gentlemen. Today's Thursday. You'll get that tonight. The video, $5. You'll get that tonight on Patreon. It's going to be released in a couple days to the general public. But you know what you'll never have to wait for? Under the radar. He'll just upload that bad boy right to YouTube. Not to YouTube, but SoundCloud. It goes to all our other platforms.
I am for the people.
He's for the people.
I'm not trying to price gouge people like somebody out here.
Yo, I will price gouge anybody I feel like, okay? That's just how the Podfather does it, I might lose the Podfather gimmick, we don't know. We'll see what's going on.
I'm Bernie Sanders, you're Joe Biden.
Wow.
Maybe Hillary Clinton.
Oh, wait, whoa. emails.
We don't want to go that far.
Yeah, we don't want to go that far. I had the opportunity to meet Hillary Clinton. I did not take it. Shame on me. Really kind of just there for Bill, but you know. All right, promo pick of the week. We've rambled enough. Chris Jericho, September 22nd, 2008, Monday Night Raw. This was during his feud with not Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho can't feud with Chris Jericho. This was during his feud with HBK. Probably one of my favorite feuds of all time. They were feuding over the world title. They were going to have that ladder match at No Mercy that year. This was after Unforgiven and the championship scramble, which Chris Jericho won the world title after being beaten in an unsanctioned fight by Shawn Michaels earlier on in the show. Good stuff, man. This was during my prime of watching wrestling. I was 12 years old at the time. Yeah.
I would have been 14, because I'm old.
Yeah.
And obviously, I mean, this is kind of the peak Chris Jericho heel run. And Chris Jericho reinvented himself like always. Maybe taking a little bit of this Chris Jericho from '08 to today's Chris Jericho. A lot more sinister, a lot more serious than we see list Chris Jericho.
Yeah, this was prime, like, Nick Bockwinkel, Jace Chris Jericho, which I loved. The suits, the big words, talking slow, calling people hypocrites and parasites. I loved it. Loved everything about it. It was great.
The perfect mix of being entertaining, but yet being a jackass.
Yes, absolutely. All right, tell us about our closed match pick of the week, Brandon.
So our closed match pick of the week is a match from CZW January 7th, 2011. I don't exactly know if that's the right date. That might have just been when it was uploaded on YouTube.
Well, it was the right date. I'll check.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
I do my research.
We have Jon Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose, going up against Brody Lee, formerly known as Luke Harper.
Currently known. He's still under contract.
Well, I mean, we all know it's going to be formerly known. But anyways, they have a match at CZW, so maybe a little glimpse into the past, into the future of what could be coming with Jon Moxley and possibly Brody Lee, because we all know Luke Harper's probably be gone. Who knows exactly when or where? But I think it's more shows Brody Lee, because I think people kind of know what Dean Ambrose can do in the ring. I don't think people exactly know what Luke Harper can do in the ring.
Yeah, but I don't know why Luke Harper wasn't chosen for that Eric Rowan spot. Like, dude's 40. Like, he can still work. He only has a couple years left before the prime wears off.
I mean, he's a better wrestler than Rowan is.
Yes, absolutely. You know, Brody Lee probably the closest thing to our generation's Bruiser Brody, you could say, in some way. Kind of looks like him.
Well, I mean, he picked the word name Brody for a reason.
Exactly. You know, then Jon Moxley, the Prince of the Death Match. So this was cool, man. Being like back body drop through like shattered glass, and it was that table bump Moxley took did not look pretty. I thought his back was gonna get all sliced up, but it didn't.
Yeah, deathmatch is not exactly my forte, but this is what the boys were doing.
This is what the boys were doing
on the indie scene.
On the indie scene. Hey, over an hour. All right, time to wrap it up. Ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter at Bulletcast, Instagram The Bulletcast, YouTube channel The Bulletcast. Email us bulletcast2 is in the number 2 sweet SWEET at gmail.com, or DM us on Twitter like Copenhagen Smith. Email us like HoodyHoo420, Backwoods420, and all these other guys. And God, I didn't realize they had 420 in both of their names. That's interesting.
And if you want to be a part of Under the Radar, I've been a little dormant and keep forgetting to check the email, but it's okay because nobody emails me anyways.
I'll email you.
Go email the Under the Radar mailbag. That is utrmailbag@gmail.com.
Yes.
AMA.
Every Friday night, 99.9 FM KW in Watsonville from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and Patreon. Thursday night, audio live, video live. In a couple days, the BC will be released to the general public. You'll never have to wait for Under the Radar. He releases that to all of you people right away. This has been the BC. Thank you guys so much. Next week, Bulletcast in the Bank. Predictions, titles on the line for Money in the Bank. Brandon and I doing a recap of Money in the Bank immediately after it is over. Thank you guys so much. Go check out the interviews I've done with Will Hobbs, Marcus Lewis, all APW talent. We will see you guys next week. Ta-ta for now.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.